Fam, how y'all doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Now, you know what? I said I was going to do a video on Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to do it. It's basically a conspiracy theory. It's basically entertainment. But you know what? I'm going to say it just like this. Think about this. This guy's in an all-red state. Majority white people. He got shot by a white person. And allegedly the person is liberal. He has a trans boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is. I don't know. And I'm not making any light of the LGBTQIA apostrophe plus community. I'm not. And I'm not making fun or light of Charlie Kirk's assassination, death, however you want to look at it. I want to actually talk to y'all about that. Now, as a whole grown man, you telling me that Tyler Robinson, a 22-year-old, took this sophisticated gun, this old gun, on top of the building, one shot, hit this guy, killed this guy, got off that building, took the gun, wrapped it inside of a towel, left it there, didn't wipe the prints off or anything, right? He texted his friend this big long paragraphs of stuff, right? Perfect punctuation and everything. What person you know nowadays, young person, does that? Nobody does that. Bruh, there's emojis, there's shorter run-on sentences. There's no complete sentences, man. So you telling me he had the time to do all of this, right? No, he didn't. Now you telling me you found him at home, right? You know, a millionaire or billionaire offered a reward, $1 billion. So his father turns him in. And allegedly he gets the money. And some people say, well, he didn't get the money because he said, you know, he's just doing the right thing. So Tyler Robinson is in jail right now and they're trying to seek the death penalty. Not at one point is this person trying to get a plea deal. He didn't do this. You know, and I know he did not do this. This is what you call a frame job. This is, I want to point the finger at liberals. Bro, that ain't got shit to do with them. Whatever is happening, that was in-house, bro. And I'm going to say it just like this. If you look at the memorial for Charlie Kirk, on the top, on one of these posters that they had for the memorial, on the top was Erica Kirk, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance. So you have the widow, the president, and the vice president. Nowhere on this on this poster was Charlie Kirk. Nowhere. And on top of all of that, his parents, his family did not show up. Now, when all of this is happening, this guy, you know, was going through a spiritual awakening. You know, he was questioning a lot of stuff, man. You know, after a while, you get to question some of the stuff that you're going through and some of the stuff you're doing. And all of a sudden, the day before he actually gets assassinated, there's a book that comes out. Not just one. There's books that come out. You know, allegedly. And, you know, they're not found anymore. You know, the release date changed and everything. So somebody made a typo and released the book early. And when they found out, they took it down. Fam, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. When you really look at the picture behind this. So when this man was shot off a rooftop by a 22-year-old with this sophisticated older gun, one shot, hit him. Instead of securing the crime scene, they took the camera down that was behind Charlie Kirk. They took down all the stuff that was around him. Now, they're telling you he was shot in a certain angle, bro, but I don't believe that. I don't. Now, think about this. Where they at? This is a college. What do college kids have? Phones. What do phones have on them? Cameras. Everybody was recording. If you look, everybody was recording. Where's all that footage at? Where's all of it at? Bro, if you look at this, and I want you to understand, where is all that footage? People were recording everything. People was doing panoramic shots. They were spinning and everything. Dude, they were. And the thing that I looked at is, where's all that footage? Now, you see 5 or 6 people, up to 10 or 15, come forward and show some of the footage, but not the stuff that you seen going on in the video. You know, when they showed the time that he got shot and everything like that, all the stuff leading up to it. Bruh, I'm sitting here trying to understand. Make this shit make sense. At the memorial, they call her out. She comes out, you know, she's standing there. You know, she got fake tears and everything. I don't know if they were fake, bro, but it looked staged as hell. This was a political rally. This was a come together of the Republican Party. Bro, this wasn't what you thought it was. All that Epstein stuff, they pushed that behind and they focused on this to show you this, the solidarity of the Republican Party, bro. Now, they plastered Charlie Kirk's face all over this, but again, on certain posters, he wasn't on, bro. And when your family don't show up, it says a lot. Because the shit they seen, they couldn't stand behind. Now, see, everybody may disagree with me, and I understand that. But when you look at this from the standpoint of common sense, it don't make no sense. If you got this guy, Tyler Robinson, dead to right, and he's not trying to take a plea deal, something is wrong. They don't got no evidence on him. If not, they would have charged him already, bro. And when the guy was saying that he seen, you know, because they were asking people what they seen, and they was talking to this guy, and he was saying what he seen, all these red shirts surrounded him and stumped that shit out. Didn't beat him up or anything. They just completely stopped that interview. Think about it. Why are they doing that? Now, look at this situation. Now, Erica Kirk has his ministries and everything and all the stuff that he had. Now she's in control of all that. You know, this man's life was made into a spectacle. It wasn't, you know, a private moment. I understand everybody wanted to mourn and pay their respects. But mom and dad, you know, family, they just like, what's going on here? You know, she came out, you know, there's fireworks going off around her and stuff. You know, she's curing a watermark. She's crying and everything, man, and saying, you know, looking up, mouth and stuff. Bro, you forget this woman was an actress. She knows Donald Trump. At 17, she won a beauty pageant sponsored by Donald Trump. Bruh, after that, she started a ministry. And somehow she got something in cahoots with Romania and helping children over there, bruh. The kids were coming up missing. And the Romanian government was like, wait, hold on, what the fuck? They started paying attention. They kicked their ass out of Romania. Now all of a sudden, after they kicked out, no more kids were coming up missing. Bro, she was an actress, a model, a beauty pageant contestant, man. And I'm looking at it, she was what, 5 years older than he was? Think about it. She already had stuff in play. Then when she held the love sign up, when she was holding Donald Trump, bro, I was like, wait, hold on. This looked staged as hell. This wasn't even paying respects to this man. I'm like, the people that I want to hear from is his family. You know, I want to hear from mom, dad, or whoever's, you know, that's there, you know, for him. You know, I understand his wife, but I didn't get that from her. I didn't get anything from her. I didn't get the feeling that, you know, she was broken up or anything. Bro, it looked like everything was staged. It's like they planting this seed. They trying to tell you. They trying to push a narrative, man. They trying to basically start or spark a revolution, man. Bruh, if you look at that with your eyes open, you will see this. Even with your eyes closed, you will see this. This don't make no damn sense. You know, I don't give a damn how good of a shooter you are. You 22 years old, and you take a shot like that, and it hits. Bro, like I told you, it was a guy on the side of him. You know, but Charlie Kirk was hit, you know, on this side. Bro, You come to find out a lot of shit they told us wasn't even factual. It wasn't even true. They could have shut all that shit down in the beginning, but they didn't. Think about it. If you really want to know something that will make your head spin, at events like this, with so many people and so many things like that, they usually have medics on staff. They usually have stuff on staff. People on standby. What was all that at? The security was really lacking, man. And I'm like, man, there's no bulletproof glass any damn where, bro. What's going on? Bruh, he was led out to the damn slaughter. They left him sitting out there. And you know what? This is not a knock. This is not disrespecting this man's memory or his legacy. But I'm saying this man was having a spiritual awakening because he was changing towards the end, bro. You know, he was feeling some kind of way about some of the stuff that he was saying because he started making little comments and stuff like that. So I'm like, maybe he having a crisis, you know, something like that. Or, you know, think about it. Usually when somebody is starting to question shit, this is usually when they take them out. Think about it. Look at everything that happened in history. You know, somebody on asked me, because I know they will, because somebody already asked me, do I think she had something to do with it, his wife? I wouldn't put it past. Dude, there is so much going on here that makes no sense whatsoever. And like I said, it's like this was already planned out. And like I said, you know, for her being an actress and everything, she's soaking up all the attention and everything. The focus is on her. You know, everything is about her at this moment, man. And I want you to really pay attention to that, man, because it says a lot about everything that's going on. It's not adding up, and people are starting to say, hey, Unc, it should be adding up. See, you missing everything. You know, I'm not really missing anything. I see it for what it is, but I think a lot of people are not paying attention. I think people see what they want to see and not looking at it from a analytical standpoint, man. You got to look at it and be like, man, some of this stuff ain't adding up. There's too many inconsistencies, man. It's too many. You know, there was alleged that somebody seen some stuff, man, and again, none of that came out, you know. So my thing is, you got to make it make sense. Because to be honest, this haven't been making sense for a long time. And, you know, just as a person, I question a lot of stuff. Because for me, it ain't making no sense. And I'm starting to look at it and be like, man, maybe it's time, you know, to look at this with new eyes. Or, you know, step back and look at it again. Now, it's running less on TV because they already pushed it in your face. Remember what I told you what was going on with Kobe Bryant and, you know, his daughter when they passed on that helicopter crash and all of that, how they were pushing him out in the limelight and they were talking about changing the NBA logo, using him, you know. And fam, you know what? COVID was basically in the background. COVID was in the background. And, you know, like I said, Epstein's situation, man, was running hard. But guess what? It brung all of them together. Elon Musk was at the memorial, man. All of them was there. It brung them all together. Pay attention to that. They're solidifying the Republican Party. You know, people tell me I don't see everything that's happening and all the good. Bro, I haven't seen too much of good this year. It's been a lot of bad for a lot of people. I have seen good people struggling. Good people not being able to pay rent and, you know, pay mortgages, not, you know, have money for food, not get their medications. I done seen a lot of damn stuff. And I'm going to be honest, I can't help everybody. You know, sometimes I can help and sometimes I can't. We all got our own situations. And see, this is what I'm explaining. You know, my heart goes out to him and his family. But see, they got us looking over here and we're not looking over here. There's so much stuff going on over here. And people don't want to see it. You know, again, my heart goes out to him and his family. I didn't agree with everything that this man said, but I don't believe anybody deserved to get their life taken. I believe he had a right to his opinions. I believe that's what it is. You have the right to your opinions. You had a right to talk and say about what you want. That's the First Amendment. Freedom of speech, I think, right? You know, so think about it. We lost the star, bro. Because I believe, and I say it over and over again, and I want you to understand this. Anytime that the people tend to look behind the curtain, that's usually when they take them out. And he was looking behind the curtain. He was paying attention to some stuff. He was checking out some things, man. And you start noticing when people start checking out stuff, look at Dr. Martin Luther King. Look at Malcolm X. There's a whole lot of people that I want to mention. Dude, it's a lot of stuff. When it goes political, look at John F. Kennedy. Dude, it's crazy. And to this day, you still don't know who killed Kennedy. You know a few things, but you don't know everything. You know, they were asking, is this only one shooter or two shooters? And I was thinking in the case, I was thinking with Charlie Kirk, was there one shooter or was there two shooters? Because the guy, Tyler Robinson, he wasn't the shooter, bro. He couldn't have been the shooter. It was a little too goofy to be the shooter. I'm like, come on, man. I don't even see that. Dude was skipping home from school. I'm like, come on, man. Or wherever he coming from. I'm like, I don't see that. Come on. Really? You got to come better than that. I'm serious, man. We are all intelligent people, man. And people just been poking holes in all of these stories, man. If you look at his wife's past, bro, it will really make you open your eyes, bro, because you like, man, something is off about that situation too. But till later, thank you for watching. Peace out.